For the first time since President Trump launched that missile attack, he tells the AFP that the chemical attack that prompted it was, quote, a 100% fabrication. Let's take a listen right now.
It's not clear whether it happened or not, because how can you verify a video? You have a lot of fake videos now, and you have the proof that those videos were fake, like the white helmets, for example. They are al-Qaeda, they are Nusra Front, who shaved their beard, wore white hats, and appeared as humanitarian heroes, which is not the case. The same people were killing Syrian soldiers, and you have the proof on the internet anyway. So the same thing for that chemical attack. We don't know whether those dead children, were they killed in Khan Sheikhoun, were they dead at all, who committed the attack if there was attack, what the material, you have no information at all, nothing at all, no one investigated.
So you think it's a fabrication?
Definitely, 100% for us it's fabrication. We don't have arsenal, we're not going to use it, and you have many indications if you don't have the proof, because no one has concrete information or evidences, but you have indications. For example, less than 2 weeks, around 10 days before that attack, the terrorists were advancing in many fronts, including the suburbs of Damascus and Hama, which is not far from Khan Sheikhoun. Let's suppose we have this arsenal, and let's suppose that we have the will to use it. Why didn't we use it when we were retreating and the terrorists were advancing? Actually, the timing of that attack, or alleged attack, was when the Syrian army was advancing very fast, and actually the terrorists were collapsing. So why to use it if you have it and if you have the will? Why to use it at that timing, not when you are in a difficult situation? Logically, this is first. Second, if you want to use it, if you have it and if you want to use it, again, this is, if we suppose, why to use it against civilians, not to use it against the terrorists that we are fighting? Third, in that area, we don't have army, we don't have battles, we don't have any let's say object in Khan Sheikhoun, and it's not strategic area. Why to attack it? Well, what the reason? Militarily, I'm talking about military from a military point of view. Of course, the foundation for us morally, we wouldn't do it if we have it. We wouldn't have the will, because morally this is not acceptable. We won't have the support of the public. So every indication is against the whole story. So we can say that this play that they staged doesn't hold together. The story is not convincing by any means.
With the US airstrike, Trump seems to have changed his position on you and Syria drastically. You have the feeling that you lost what you have called a potential partner.
I said if it was conditional.
Yeah.
If they are serious in fighting terrorists, we're going to be partnered. I said not only the United States, whoever wants to fight the terrorists, we are a partner. This is basic for us, basic principle, let's say. Actually, what has been proven recently, as I said earlier, that they are handing gloves with those terrorists. The United States and the West, they're not serious in fighting the terrorists. And yesterday, some of their statements were defending ISIS. They were saying that ISIS doesn't have chemical weapons. They are defending ISIS against the Syrian government and the Syrian army. So actually, you cannot talk about partnership between us who work against the terrorists and who fight the terrorism, and the others who are supporting explicitly the terrorists.
Wow, that was extraordinary. I want to bring in NBC's chief foreign correspondent, Richard Engel. Richard, it isn't as if we expected Bashar al-Assad to come out and say, yeah, I did this, deal with it. But he said, basically, were the children even dead at all? There are a lot of fake videos out there. There's absolutely no evidence. So if we're to believe him, we're to believe, I suppose, Richard, that much of the world has been duped by all of this. What do you take away from it?
Well, he was exactly saying that. He was saying that this is all a fabrication, that the videos are not real, that there are a lot of fake videos, and that this was a manipulation by a terrorist group. And I was struck by the same thing you were, that he says, well, maybe the children in the videos weren't even dead at all. It would be very hard to convince children to play dead. I can't imagine how anyone would manipulate that. But you have to understand the context. So Idlib province, where this attack took place, is in rebel hands. A lot of the rebels who are in that group are or were associated with al-Qaeda. So from the U.S. perspective and from certainly the Syrian regime perspective, that is an area that it considers in terrorist hands. The people who were killed, by all accounts, and if you look at the video, although Bashar al-Assad is not questioning that they were really killed at all, they were civilians who happened to live in that area. And if you listen to what Bashar al-Assad says, and he's been saying this and his entire regime has been saying this for years now, that he is a force against terrorists, that the world should line up behind him because only through his leadership and his military campaign will Syria rid itself of this scourge of terrorists. The U.S. position and the international position, save the positions of Russia and Iran, is that Assad is part of the problem. Because he's using such brutality, it feeds extremism, it allows terrorists to find fertile ground. But an extraordinary denial. He came out and said not only was it a manipulation, was it fake, maybe the kids weren't even dead, and that if we did have chemical weapons, it wouldn't make sense for us to use it at that particular time and place. So I think it will get some attention, this interview.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.